Someone who hasn't been able to do them will probably be at a slight disadvantage as we get to the start of the sprint race. 5 red lights. The lights are off, and I think there's a jump start for snipers there in the background. The drivers are now underway, and I think Reese did get a really good getaway from there on that start. I think Choke is going to be under pressure by Conor Barry in the McLaren as they go into turn 1. Conor Barry goes around the outside, but he isn't able to make it stick on the Aston Martin. The McLaren is also going to be fighting with the Red Bull of Neb. Diamond Miner with the Haas has been able to get past down the inside. Oh, and that's Neb into the wall, and I think that was Conor Barry that just smacked them right in there, and they've retired in the wall, and we do have a virtual safety car as we are back to green flag running. And look at Choke. Choke has just made a dive bomb on the AlphaTauri into turn 1. Diamond Miner has actually got past there as well, and Diamond Miner in the lead is going to be under pressure by everyone. Choke now momentarily in the lead, but Diamond Miner holds it around the inside. It's going to be 3 wide there with an AlphaTauri and a McLaren. The McLaren tried to hold it around the outside, but wasn't able to get the best of exits. Choke maintains P2. Conor Barry in the McLaren will just have to stay behind in P3. Choke is already over the back of Diamond Miner, and on those mediums, and with the DRS, with the slipstream, he is already through. Diamond Miner, though, is trying to defend off Reese as Reese is trying to run around the outside of the Haas. And Reese will then have the inside for turn 13 and 14. And is Reese going to be able to make it stick? Yes, he does. Now Conor Barry round the outside of the Haas. The Haas has now lost 4 positions in the space of about 3 corners there. But Reese will have that DRS. I think he has a better ERS advantage, which he does, but he doesn't elect to burn it. He thinks that DRS is powerful enough to get him past. And there he goes. Into P1 is Reese. Choke and Conor Barry going side by side. Conor Barry up into P2. Matthew May disqualified from the session. I mean, I don't really know why they were there on the exit of turn 20, sorry. But yeah, they have been disqualified. Maybe a wheel issue or controller issue. Choke has got past Conor Barry. Oh, Conor Barry has spun there. I think they might have reset to track because it looked like their positioning kind of indicates that. But yeah, Conor Barry must have had some sort of spin. And now down in P9, White Josh, I think, had a little bit of a moment as well, because I saw them dropping down a few positions. But with that, Reese is now leading by 1.9 seconds. Oh, and that's White Josh there that's been tapped by FIFAs. The moves there at the back. White Josh going side by side with FIFAs. White Josh holding it around the outside of turn 13. But we'll have the inside for turn 15. Does he even need the inside? But Wavy there is trying to hold it around the outside. Bit of contact. Oh, and that's Wavy that sent White Josh into the wall and out of the session. Raven getting quite close to Wizzy. This is going to be the final bite of the dust. Raven is going to send one down the inside of Wizzy into turn 12. And Raven making a lovely dive bomb there, made a little bit of contact with Wizzy, but what a send that was. But Reese is going to be coming around the second to final corner, not really being challenged by anyone since he was able to then retake that lead. But he is going to come across turn 20 and he will see the checkered flag to win the sprint race here at COTA. Choke will then take P2 with Raven, taking P3 with a lovely last, well, I would say last corner overtake, not really, but last lap overtake. Yan will take P4, Mighty King P5, Wizzy down in P6. I think they might have had a penalty, but Conor Barry P7, Pal P8, Salagi P9, and Wavy rounding out the points in the sprint in P10. But now we go to the grid for the 5 red lights. They are ahead of the drivers. And the lights are off. We are being held. Snipers again, I think, is jump start, and it's going to be a safety car restart. Yeah, I kind of knew, as you know, there was a bit of a delay there. There was going to be a safety car restart. Reese is burning as well. He wants to try and defend from Choke. Is Choke going to try and send one down the inside? He does pull to the inside. He breaks latest, and they're going to go side by side. And it's turn 12. And who is going to be the best out of this as they go into turn 13, being side by side? Reese just holds the inside, and it's still going to be side by side, even on the exit of that going into turn 15. Usually it's just the inside driver that gets the better exit, but on this occasion it is Reese, and now we'll have the inside for 16, 17 and 18, which is the favoured line around here, and Reese is able to hold P1 with some excellent defensive driving there. Choke not electing really to burn, but he is now switching on that ERS, or turning on that ERS, as we now go into turn 12, and Choke does now take the lead off Reese. That's been there. Wavy is in the wall, I think. In the wall, maybe some contact with Diamond Miner, as Diamond Miner doesn't have a front wing anymore, and we have a full course safety car. Now, does this help the soft tyre runners? Choke fakes to go into the pits, stays out, but Reese is pulling the trigger. So is Raven as well. Wizzy Boy in the pits, Yan staying out, Mighty King staying out, Connor Barry in the pits. So it's quite a split there of who goes into the pits. Zalagi in the pits as well. So is FIFA's White Josh and Matthew May. The Deep Cave stays out. Diamond Miner pits. Snipers stays out. So yeah, it's a big split of who pits and who doesn't. Will he go out of this corner? He does smash down the power, and he has done. He has gone early and has that caught Yan napping a little bit, as Yan is just going through the final corner. We'll turn on the ERS, I am sure, out of this corner, but he is quite far behind. 6/10. Mighty King is closer. Is Mighty King going to try and make a move on the Williams as we go into turn 1? No, he doesn't. But down the inside is Neb Restream on Mick, and that is Neb up into P6. Also down the inside is Reese. Oh, and that is Mick that is spun around a little bit there. Had a half spin, and the two Mercedes are kind of blocking Reese in there a little bit. Reese is not going to be happy about that. He is trying to get past the Mercedes wall. Oh, and that is Mick, who has another tap there and has spun around. And I believe that was Reese that kind of tapped the back of Mick. Him to Deep Cave is making an overtake on Raven, but Raven holds it around the outside with that Ferrari engine and is able to keep in front of the Deep Cave. But is the Deep Cave going to try and make a switch back to the inside? He isn't close enough though. But Wizzy Boy though is going to try and make that move. We're going to have this. It was a good onboard shot in Div 2, but I don't think it's going to be the same time around again, as they still go side by side. But Wizzy Boy just able to keep in front of the Deep Cave. There is a yellow flag though, and that is Mighty King, who is in the wall there. Not losing any end plates though, so probably just a spin there. 3-car battle for P2 by the looks of it. Raven is trying to make an early overtake on Remote Banjo. Obviously has the DRS because he was behind at the DRS detection point, and will open up that DRS, but Remote Banjo will have DRS as well. Who is going to be the best out of this? Raven is in front. Reese has been able to get up into P2. And we do have another safety car. Oh, and that's Matthew May that's in the barrier there. Up into P2 though. Reese has done an excellent job on those softs, but Choke has to come in, and he does so indeed. So he comes in. Reese comes in as well. Yan comes in. Pal comes in. Raven stays out this time, which is interesting. Neb comes in. Wizzy stays out. White Josh in. Connor Barry staying out. FIFA's coming in. Zalaki staying out. White Josh coming in. Diamond Miner staying out. Snipers coming in. Mick coming in. Mighty King, I don't know yet. So he is gonna go on the exit of turn 20, I do believe. Hasn't gone just yet though, but now he has bolted. And Wizzy Boy is there, probably been caught napping a little bit, as we see there in the background. I think that's Reese that's pulled to the inside. Is going to try and make a dive bomb as we go into turn 1. He is on the inside of Diamond Miner. Choke there in the background, trying to get close as well, isn't able to make anything. The Williams there of Yan is trying around the outside of White Josh. White Josh though is able to keep in front, but Yan will have the inside. They're going to make it side by side into the yes section, but White Josh is just able to keep in front of that pack. I think FIFA's probably got a couple of illegal overtakes there. And Remote Banjo, that's Neb though in the wall, and for the second time this race, Neb is in the wall and out of the session. There isn't going to be another safety car though, as we have kind of used them up. Mick and Snipers going side by side. Reese in the top 5 as well, making a move, but Mick there on the inside of Snipers. Snipers gets a little bit of oversteer though as they go through turn 11, so it is now going to be a drag race as we go into turn 12. Is it going to be Mick or is it going to be Snipers? Zalagi though has not really made some overtakes. Powers though has been able to get up into P5, but Mick is able to stay in front. White Josh making an overtake on Yan. So Yan might have got the overtake on the straight, but now it's White Josh who has the inside there a little bit. as I believe Jan has to now settle for P10, but goes very wide, loses the place to Fifas as well. But Jan is still going to try and fight this round the outside, and Jan does get in front. Oh, and Fifas and Diamond Miner who have retired there at the back, and we have another safety car. So yeah, Raven does come in, Reese stays out. Wizzy does come in, and so does Connor Barry. So exactly the three that I did predict. A few more coming in as well. But it is going to be a question of what tyres do they go on to. So we'll have a look at that. Raven's gone on to hard tyres, which is interesting. Mighty King going down the inside of Mick. So is Raven as well. Raven sends one down the inside of the Mercedes. And Wizzy Boy as well is on the inside of the Mercedes. Goes around the outside now. Is the Aston Martin going to be able to get past the Mercedes? He will now have the inside for turn 15. And Wizzy Boy sends one down the inside. And the Mercedes is still there. Wizzy Boy leaves the space. And now Connor Barry is even going to try and get past Mick as well. Round the outside of turn 16, 17 and 18. And he just gets in front from a Bojo, now getting past Mick down the inside from Mick though, trying the switchback and has collected the Williams and the Red Bull in doing so. But Raven, as you can see on the inside of Mighty King, is going to clear him probably before the braking zone, and does. Look at the Wizzy Boy though in the background. He sends one down the inside of Mighty King as well. And Connor Barry, same old as well. Mick, it happened to Mick, and it probably will happen to Mighty King, as Mighty King gets half spun there by Connor Barry. Connor Barry making a little bit of contact. Mighty King already back down in P10. Raven, though, has been able to get past White Josh. So is Wizzy as well. Wizzy hits the back of Raven a little bit. White Josh is still on the inside. But again, it's the same thing. White Josh is becoming the Mick. He's getting absolutely swallowed by everyone in this pack that pitted. That safety car has caused some chaos and caused 3 drivers now to lose many positions. White Josh now down in P7. Choke there, as you can see, is gone defensive from Raven. Raven is going to try and hold it around the outside. Maybe was looking for a switchback, but Choke was going a bit too slow there, and Raven kind of had to give him the place back. But Raven is still going to try and hold this. Connor Barry has been able to spot a mistake from Wizard Boy in front and have been able to overtake. Those two go side by side, but so is Raven and Choke. Raven is going to have the inside for turns 16, 17 and 18, and will get in front. Wizzy Boy, Choke, sorry, is going to try and hold it around the outside, but isn't able to. And Connor Barry is able to keep in front of Wizzy Boy as well. So Connor Barry now has kind of been promoted onto the podium if Reese and Powell have to pit again. Choke, though, is under pressured by Connor Barry. Connor Barry will switch to the inside, will dive bomb him into turn 1, and Wizzy Boy as well might even try and get past his own teammate, and they do. So Choke now down in P6. But you can see there in the foreground, Powell finally getting past Reese, and that is Powell up into the lead. Back in the background there as well, Jan has been able to get past Choke. Honestly, we might just forget highlights, just making extended highlights. And this is probably one for them. Reese overtaking Powell. Retakes the lead. Choke and Connor Barry. Well, Connor Barry is trying to make an overtake on Jan. Down the inside it goes. Oh, and there's massive contact there. Jan gets forced out the way. Choke has been able to make a double overtake on that. White Josh is going to try and go around the outside of Connor Barry on that. And it's still going to be side by side. Look at Jan. Jan's going to try and make it 3 wide. White Josh gets a penalty. Zalagi down the inside of Jan will get it stick. And he will definitely get it stick as they go on the exit of turn 15. But White Josh up into P6. Choke P5. Zalagi, Jan and Connor Barry. Oh, and that's Connor Barry that's been spun there by Zalagi. Oh no, it was Jan. My mistake. It wasn't Zalagi, it was Jan. Jan and Connor Barry coming together in lap 20. And Jan trying to find first gear or second gear. He is there. Connor Barry has retired on track, I think. Oh, and Jan's kind of gone the wrong side of the pit lane. And Jan has retired as well. 10 drivers left in this race. Pow is going to dump absolutely everything he has in that battery to try and get past Reese, and he goes for a send down the inside. Both lock with the tyres a little bit as they go side by side into sector 3. Reese just able to stay in front, but is Pow going to try and switch to the inside late on into turn 15 and try dive bomb? He tried to, but Reese is there blocking him off, and Reese does get into turn 15 in front, and he will probably retain that as we go to the final couple of corners. So Reese pretty much having a slightly eventful race, trying to battle with Pow, but Reese will finally come across the final corner and will see that checkered flag and win the Texas Grand Prix. Pow will settle for P2. Raven will finish in P3. Wizzy Boy, I believe, has crashed off the start finish straight to take P4. Choke will then finish in P5 with Zalagi in P6. White Josh will then finish in P7. Mick will eventually finish in P8, but with penalties, is it going to change? Mighty King does get into P8 and Remote Banjo in P9 as well, and then Mick will finish in P10. Wow, that has been an absolutely chaotic race with White Josh taking driver of the day in the game.